Out of the gates and ready to go. Welcome in to this happy hour Wednesday edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. Got a loaded show ahead as we'll bring you the latest news and rumors straight from training camp on your Seattle Seahawks, as we got a new report from ESPN that we'll get to on Geno Smith, as well as Jaxon Smith-Njigba, Devon Witherspoon, and more. Also, we'll go over the latest Seahawks depth chart that has now been updated with the recent addition of Connor Williams. We'll be talking plenty about Connor Williams throughout today's show as well. And we will take a look at the first preseason game. Yes, football finally back. Got a game to talk about. It's game week here at the channel. Your Seattle Seahawks set to square off with the LA Chargers coming up on Saturday night. We'll tell you everything you need to know, what to watch for from Saturday's contest. And we'll do a Q&A mailbag as well at the end of today's show. Use hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of the show. As you guys file in, shout out your city. We'll shout you out as we get this show off and rolling here on this Wednesday. Tyler Jones here. Tyler Smith, Smitty in the house here with me as well. We'll bring him in just a few moments. Let us know where you're at, and we'll show you some love as we're coming at you here from the Chat Sports Studios here in downtown Dallas, Texas on this Wednesday afternoon. Thanks for making us a part of your day, folks. I got Pedro checking in from Los Angeles. Got Ian. He's a regular around here, folks. Good to see you, Ian, from Auburn, Washington. Beta YT from Clemson, South Carolina. Beta, hope you're doing well, my friend. Seth in Laverne, California. Jeff in Ridgefield, Washington. Dan the Man Miller. He was back with us last night. He's back here again from Spokane, Washington. Got Shane in Hillsboro, Oregon. Got Mad Wolf in Renton, Washington. Michael, 808, checking in from Honolulu. I wish I was in Honolulu right now. Let us know where you're at, and we'll show you some love. Caleb in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Got David in Bend, Oregon, home of the last blockbuster. Also got Cole in Firmly, Nevada. Mamba says, howdy, brother. Huge fan. Beta already with a super chat. We'll get to that coming up in a few moments. Stand by for that, Beta. We'll take care of you here in just a bit. I want to know, what is your one-word reaction to the Seahawks signing Connor Williams and bringing him to your Seattle Seahawks? What is it? Give me one word to describe it all. Tyler Smith, Smitty here with me. He missed last night's show, or impromptu live show. So, Smitty, this is the first chance you've got the chance to react to Connor Williams joining the Seattle Seahawks. What would your one-word reaction be? What do you think of the move for the Seattle to add Connor Williams here?
I think my one-word reaction would be relieved, maybe.
Yeah.
I think relieved is a good word because, you know, the interior of that offensive line just had question marks depth-wise and even at the starting positions. I mean, who knew what Olu Oluwatimi would have been this season? Or, you know, questions around Anthony Bradford. You got a rookie in Christian Haynes. Like, there's question marks in the interior of that offensive line, and you kind of just answered a couple of them with adding Connor Williams. So I'm a little bit relieved on this move.
The one word I used last night, and I'll use it again, is overjoyed, because this Seahawks offensive line had major concerns, major question marks. And now we can breathe a sigh of relief that you have one of the top 5 centers in football. Charles Cross, assuming that he's healthy and good to go, we heard Albert Breer say last week that he thinks he can be an all-pro caliber left tackle this year. You got a veteran that's been to a Pro Bowl in Laken Tomlinson. Competitive options at the right guard spot. Don't know who's going to win the battle between Christian Haynes and Anthony Bradford, but at least you got guys competing. And then the right tackle spot, if Abe Lucas, if he's healthy, and that's a big if, and that knee can hold up, Abe Lucas, I think, is one of the best at his position. So, with that said, offensive line is a lot better overnight, and now you got some depth pieces to work with as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful, and I think I saw somebody say that. I think Beta just said his one word is hopeful. I'm hopeful for this offensive line to be able to protect Geno Smith, give him the pocket that he needs, and just make his job a lot easier, because we saw with a cleaner pocket in 2022 what he was able to do. If they perform at a high level this year, I think Geno can have an even better year than he had 2 years ago.
Checking in on the chat, we got Ralph from Carson City. John Smith, the godfather of Seahawks Today in St. Petersburg, Florida. John, I actually might be in St. Pete in October. Let's connect later on that. I would love to meet up if I end up out there. We'll follow up on that later. He also says his one word is based. Yes, very based. Cole says contender. Leo says sweet. Lon says blocking. Beta says hopeful. Mad Wolf says I think he was a steal. John Smith saying ungerable. I would love if he was even similar to Max Unger as far as that goes. Give me your one-word reaction. Let us know in the comments section. Before we go any further in today's show, let's tell you about today's sponsor. That is GameTime. GameTime, the best place to go for last-minute tickets and the lowest prices guaranteed. GameTime is an authorized ticket marketplace in Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the GameTime app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, GameTime takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. Here's how it works. Choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Then you check out your seat, see if you like that seat or not, get the visual, and then you're checking out. Just like that with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. They make it fast, easy, and simple for you, folks. Download the GameTime app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Download GameTime today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Haven't even gotten to the Super Chat menu yet, and already got Super Chats rolling in. Beta YT with a couple of them. Dan the Man Miller also checking in. We'll get to the menu after we get to these Super Chats here. Welcome back, baby, says Beta YT. Beta YT, good to see you, my guy, in the chat. Hopefully you're doing well, my friend, and hope you have a great school year in Clemson, cheering on the Clemson Tigers. Speaking of which, Beta's Clemson Tigers, I'm very fascinated to see what Dabo's cooking up here. I hope Beta gets to go to some Clemson Tiger games this year. That's going to be a fun year in the ACC.
It's going to be interesting because they didn't bring anybody in the transfer portal or anything like that. So kind of old school Dabo, see if he can still have some new tricks up his sleeve and try to keep Clemson competitive because the ACC is pretty tough. They got a couple contenders over there.
Yeah, Beta, hopefully you get out to some games, my man. Dan the Man Miller says, I'm predicting it now. Seattle sweeps the San Fran Whiners. F San Fran. Spam F San Fran in the chat. Get those in there. You know, well, the vibes are good here in Seattle. And they've had a very good training camp. Chase Sr. over at the 49ers Report, he was talking about today that with this Brandon Ayuk situation and everything going on, the vibes are not good at Niners camp right now. And that in their runs they've made to their 2 Super Bowls, which they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, they had very good training camps. And the atmosphere was phenomenal there, that everybody was in a good attitude that set the tone early in training camp.
Interesting.
And it's the total opposite right now at this point in time. They still might keep Ayuk. I mean, I won't believe it till I actually see it of a potential trade. But even with that said, just knowing that there's some dysfunction there, that makes me feel pretty good.
Yeah, that makes me feel pretty good too. Now, could it be that they needed dysfunction to go out and win the Super Bowl? Maybe, but I'm going to bank on that. It signals a more of a decline for San Francisco than a progression.
Beta YT with another super chat, $20 super chat says, can't be overdone, LOL.
I think you mean outdone. When Dan sent the 10, he sent the 20 right away.
Okay, I like that, Beta YT. Raising the stakes a little bit.
Electric.
Love it from Beta YT. Let's get to that super chat menu, see what we have to pay off already. Beta, you sent in 25. I'm going to give you a beer bong for that, my guy.
Okay.
We'll pay that off. Dan, you're getting some shots. I'll take a shot first. We'll go to the Patron zone. It is Wednesday. It is happy hour. We're drinking accordingly here. Dan, this is for you. Go Hawks. The first one's always fine. It's the other ones that start to get to you a little bit as the show goes on. So, Dan, cheers to you.
Dan, right out the bottle for you, brother.
Okay. I'm feeling fine. We'll see how I do with other shots later. The beer bong, here's the beer bong in all its glory, and the rest of the super chat menu. First time super chatters, you get the Seahawks chant. $5, we'll sing the old McDonald's song. $10, we're taking shots. $25, we'll do a beer bong. $50, we'll do the Seahawks sauce. We get to $200, we're doing a boot. And today's deal of the day, I'm going to offer this again. We came very close the last time I offered this to the folks out there. Today's deal of the day, Run, Jones, run. If we reach $300 in super chats, I am going to run a beer mile. 1 lap at a time, chug a beer, no light beer, and then run another lap and keep going for 4 laps. I already owe you guys a 5K, which I said I would do before the season begins. Now, I'm in no running shape whatsoever, by the way. I know I've lost a lot of weight, but it's not been by working out, just to be honest. So I will pay this off accordingly. If we get to 300 in Super Chats today, we're already at $35. Smitty, have you ever run any type of a beer mile of sorts? Does that intrigue you at all?
I have run a mile, but I have not run a beer mile before. I'm not sure if it intrigues me unless I get the light beer option.
Okay.
Drinking some Bud Heavies and then running a lap on the track is not something that I think I'd be too successful at.
Here is the first beer bong of the day, courtesy of Beta YT. Cheers to you, my guy.
Cheers to Beta.
Let's go, Hawks. And then John Smith. Oh, man, you guys are pushing hard for the beer mile challenge today.
Uh-oh.
As John Smith with a $50 super chat. Bang! John. Everybody spam John in the chat. Spam John. I got to drink some Seahawks sauce.
Are you kidding me?
What a start to this show already.
Wow.
Here we go. You guys are coming in hot today. Everybody's excited about this Connor Williams signing.
I'm loving it.
Way to go, Beta. More like Alpha, YT, and Dan the Man Miller as well. You know, I've said that for a long time, Smitty. I don't know why he goes by Beta, because he's an Alpha.
Absolutely. One of the biggest alphas that I've ever seen here in the Seahawks Today chat. No doubt about it.
John Smith says, Dan did an Ironman race in 2008. Took me 14 hours. So here's the Seahawks sauce to John Smith. Cheers. And then Beta YT. Oh, my gosh.
Right back at him.
How about that? Beta YT with a $100 super chat. Bang! Beta. Everybody spam Beta. Spam Beta. We're already just 15 away from a boot. What a start today, folks. It's a Wednesday in the afternoon. And we're at 185, 15 away from a boot, 115 away from me running a beer mile. I'm getting nervous now, folks.
Oh, the beer mile could be happening today, folks.
It could be.
We got the right crowd in the chat today.
Oh, my goodness. All right. I owe 2 Seahawks sauces now.
Seahawks sauces.
Here's one, another one, and then we'll keep it going. Beta YT. Everybody spam Beta in the chat.
Spam Beta in the chat.
Spam Beta.
Woo! Seahawks sauce numero 1 a 2.
Woo! Woo! All right. Another one coming. You guys love getting me sauce with that Seahawks sauce.
Beta just said if we get another $16, he'll do the 100 and get Jones to run the beer mile.
You hear that? That's all it's going to take. You send in 16, Beta's sending in the 100, and I'm doing this beer mile.
I feel like that's low-key like just throwing it off the backboard to John Smith right here.
This is an alley-oop opportunity.
This could be an alley-oop.
Another Seahawks sauce, a Beta YT.
Jones beer mile inevitable.
Dan says we haven't even started the show yet. Let's go.
I know. Speaking of which, starting the show, use hashtag Seahawks. If you're gonna send in a super chat, might as well have a question about the Seahawks in there as well. So ask away. But if you want to get on the show later, as Jones downs that second Seahawks sauce.
Third.
Whoa. Oh yeah, third of the whole show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag Seahawks in your comment to ask a question about the Hawks that we'll put on our Q&A mailbag segment later on in the show.
There you go, folks. We already matched last night's total in Super Chats, and we're 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes, like 10 minutes into the show. There it is, the boot.
The boot
is happening.
Is complete. John Smith with a 20. Shout out to him.
All right. So there's one. Can't let Alpha YT down. So that's 2 shots. You want to take a shot, Smitty?
Yeah, I'll take a shot.
Okay. We will take care of the boot coming up in a bit. I do have to get through the segments, though. I don't want spillage on my shirt.
Of course not.
But we will pay off the boot today. There's at least one boot coming. Here you go, Smitty.
All
Have
right.
a shot at tequila.
Much appreciated. Why not on a Wednesday?
Courtesy of John Smith on this Wednesday, this fine Wednesday afternoon.
This miércoles.
Cheers.
All right, that was little enough. That was okay.
Ah! Ah!
Uh-oh!
Let's start with Aiden.
Aiden.
Aiden says, "Go Hawks."
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Love that profile pic, too. It's cool. It's a nice little.
That is phenomenal. Phenomenal profile pic. I agree. Go Hawks, Aiden. And then Beta, I deliver on my promises with a $100 super chat. Bang! Beta, 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 beta. Everybody spam beta. Spam beta.
Run, Jones, run! We're doing the beer mile!
Just like that. I sold myself out for $300. You guys did it before the show even started. And I got to run a beer mile. Oh, my God.
Unbelievable.
So now I got to run a 5K, and I got to run a beer mile. Oh, Lord.
I think the 5K no beers is significantly more difficult. It's just a large, much more running than the actual beer mile comprises of.
Oh, my Lord.
That 5K.
Oh, my Lord. All right. Two more Seahawks sauces.
Start hitting the track, Jones.
Yeah, I better start getting in running shape here pretty damn quick. Luckily, I got the beer thing figured out. The running is going to be the issue here.
Yeah, beer thing will be all right.
Beta, here's another Seahawks sauce. I'll give you one more after this.
Let's go.
So now we're at 306. Are we in Smitty Boot territory?
Smitty Boot territory is if we get to 500.
500 for a Smitty Boot. So I already owe you one. If we get to 500, which we're less than 200 away, then that's a Smitty Boot as well. And that could be a boot race.
Could be a boot race. If you get it by the end of the show, then it's a boot race.
It's been a while since you and I did a boot race.
John Smith says, I hung out with a lot of triathletes. All of them said a 5K was the toughest race because you have to run so hard. Well,
I'm not trying to beat anybody.
I was going to say, the good thing about Jones is he's running this solo.
I'm not trying to beat anybody. I'm trying to beat myself. Just trying to survive. Beta, another Seahawks sauce for you.
I mean, Jones is getting sauce. We haven't even started our first segment yet. Unbelievable. Another one down the hatch.
All right.
That's a lot of liquid, my friend.
That is a lot. I am definitely going to have to piss before the end of today's show. I can guarantee you that much. John says, should we give them some time to deliver some content, or should we keep making them drink? Seth wants to know how much for you to have a spicy jelly bean.
If we get a $50, do we have them?
On my desk.
Okay, if we get a $50 super chat before we start our first segment, then I'll do a spicy jelly bean.
Ooh. And I'll put the clock on right now. Ian with a super chat. We'll get to Ian here in just a
Great
second.
question, Ian, by the way.
We'll include that in the mailbag. I'm putting 3 minutes on the clock. If a 50 comes in the next 3 minutes, then Smitty will do a spicy jelly bean.
Shout out to Ian.
Ian says, I think Haynes will be our starter week 1. I'll answer this in the mailbag, so I don't want to give away my answer, but Smitty can answer.
Do I think
Haynes starting week 1 at right guard?
Will Haynes start week 1 right guard? No.
Really?
I'm going to go with no.
You going Anthony Bradford?
I'm going to say they give it to Bradford until he makes them take it away.
And you don't think that he gets to take it away by week 1? Okay.
Not by week 1.
Okay. Fair enough.
They'll send Bradford in some game action, and then he'll let up a sack in week 1, and Christian Haynes will be the starter week 2, or sometime short after.
Dan says Jones is going to get so drunk he can't even do the show. Where there's a will, there's a way. If I have to do this show drunk, I will. We will power through it one way or the other. I can promise you that. Caleb says, go Seahawks. Hashtag Hawks Nest. Hashtag more Bobo. Caleb, good news for you. Smitty can back me up on this. We are talking plenty of Jake Bobo today.
Jake Bobo across multiple segments today.
Lots of Jake Bobo today.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that, Caleb. There's about 2 minutes remaining on the countdown clock for a $50 super chat for Smitty to do a spicy jelly bean. We also got to reach 500 for Smitty to do a boot and make this a boot race. We are 190 away from that mark. All right, like the video. We're at 34 likes right now. I need to get to 50. to start today's show.
50 likes.
50 likes. Very possible.
Very possible.
We're very close. Got by Spoon has got a question for the mailbag.
Ooh,
Thank you for that.
Interesting question.
Good question for the mailbag.
I haven't heard about that yet. I'm not sure if Tyler has.
We will discuss. We'll get to that here in just a bit. I love a good training camp fight, though.
Yeah, that's good stuff. You need to get that competitive juices flowing.
Like, I don't want fights during the season, but I can be down for a good training camp fight.
Agreed.
John Smith says YouTube needs a super chat ticker so we can track it. We are. If you go to the top of the chat, they have the super chats.
I'm not sure if they can see that.
Oh, you guys can't see that?
No.
I know we can.
Yeah, we have the ticker going right now. It's 310.96.
Okay. Down to 30 seconds remaining for $50 super chat for Smitty to do the spicy jelly
bean.
$50 super chat. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. If you're ready to start today's show, like the video. 9 away from getting this thing started. Here is what's ahead on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Got some news and rumors to get to straight from training camp. A new report from ESPN on Geno Smith, JSN, Devon Witherspoon, and more. Also going to break down the Seahawks depth chart, where things stand right now, heading into the first preseason game and after signing Connor Williams. We'll also preview the Seahawks matchup against the Chargers, and then we'll do a Q&A rumors mailbag as well. Seth, right at the buzzer, gets the 50 in, so Smitty will do his spicy jelly bean. That's got to be the most expensive spicy jelly bean in chat sports history. A $50 super chat.
Seth, you want it, you got it, bang!
Hashtag Seahawks. Should we expect a lot of rotation through preseason games and majority of starters in the games? I haven't gotten this confirmed, but I don't think Geno's probably going to play coming off the injury. I know Justin Herbert's not playing for the Chargers. We'll talk more about that when the game comes along here in just a bit, when we get to our game preview segment. But I would think that you're probably going to see everybody, and the second and third stringers playing the majority of the second half. I highly doubt you'll see starters playing that beyond the first quarter, beyond that point. But Seth with that $50 super chat, bang!
All right, Seth, you want it, you got it. I'm going to go get the jelly bean.
All right, he's going to go get the jelly bean.
There's a box of them on your desk?
Yeah, it's just right on my desk. Yep. And he will pay off accordingly. Coming up in just a bit. While we wait for Smitty, let's make him take some shots when he comes back. Every $5 super chat while he's getting the jelly beans, a shot for Smitty. Why not get everybody hammered today? This is a historic show. It's a Wednesday. We haven't even started yet, folks. You guys are ready for football. We're at $360 from super chats. We're $140 away from a Smitty Boot, from making this a boot race, folks. You guys are electric. Electric Avenue here on Seahawks Today. There's the spicy jelly beans. He did not bring the wheel, though, so we're just going to see what you grab.
I think that's a good way to go.
Don't look, though.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'll show you guys proof.
Here is the box. Fiery 5 challenge it is. And he already dropped one. I believe
This does not look good.
I believe that is the habanero. Does it say on the back? Oh, here we go. No, that is the Carolina Reaper.
Fuck! You've got it.
Carolina Reaper is what Smitty's about to do. Here it is. You asked for it. He's delivering. Carolina Reaper. Spam Bean.
Oh my God.
Spam Bean. Doing his Hail Marys. Oh, man. How is it? It's hot. Need some Coke Zero or Miller? Help yourself. Oh. Oh. That did not look satisfying. Yeah, take down that Coke Zero. Yeah. Spam Bean. Ian typing Bean. Jeff. Ian. The Carolina Reaper.
My mouth is on fire.
His mouth is on fire. Taking down the Coke Zero. Some carbonation for that spicy jelly bean.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. What a start, folks. Ladies and gentlemen. 140 away from a boot race. Let's get to the segments. And we'll start with the news and rumors. Go to depth chart. Then after that, we will preview the Seahawks game against the Chargers. Then we'll do a Q&A mailbag to follow as well. Hashtag Seahawks for Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of the show. Ian says Tyler is lit. Oh! Jaxon Smith with a $50 Super Chat. Oh, my gosh. So stoked about signing Williams. Excited about the idea of Geno not getting sacked 50 times a game. We have a game on Saturday. We need T2, Smitty and Tyler in midseason form. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Smitty, or actually, you're Smitty. I've been drinking a little bit, folks. Jaxon Smith, the godfather of Seahawks today. I will give you a choice since the jelly beans are here now. For that 50 you sent in, would you like me to do 2 Seahawks sauces, or would you like me to take down a spicy jelly bean? I will give you the choice, my friend.
Make him take down the jelly bean, John.
John, your choice. Do you want me to do the jelly bean, or do you want me to take down 2 Seahawks sauces? It is your choice, my friend. Let us know how you're feeling.
John, I'm feeling horrible, not gonna lie. Seth, this is your fault.
Everybody spam John after that $50 Super Chat. Bang!
Oh my God.
Avril says you need some milk.
I do. We don't have any here in the office.
I'm not a milk guy.
I am a huge milk guy, actually. Like,
white milk?
Love it, yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of an ick.
You animal.
It's kind of an ick to a lot of people, I'm not going to lie. I didn't realize it was, like, that universally hated. But I drink, like, milk and cookies, like, every night.
John wants to survey the room. Jelly bean or 2 Seahawks sauces?
Oh no. Lon said 1 sauce, 1 bean. That's a lot.
That's not the negotiation here.
Dirty Earl says 2 sauces. Type sauce or bean in the chat.
Sauce or bean?
Sauce
Your choice.
Or bean.
Jeff, it's not both. It's one or the other. Your choice here.
Wait.
Chat seems about 50-50.
It does seem about 50-50.
John, you might have to break the tie here.
Get got by the spoon. DK got in a fight? Swung a helmet? Is that what I'm hearing?
Let's see this fight.
Did that happen? Look that up. We got a couple people. Seth's big bean guy here. Michael saying...
Swinging a helmet. I'm seeing the video. It actually happened on NFL Network, too.
Oh, wow. They were getting... Damn, it's really 50-50.
John, it's 50-50. You're going to have to break the tie. It's your choice. Here's the report about that fight from Brady Henderson, by the way. This has been the chippiest practice of Seahawks camp. Mike McDonald paused the period after the 3rd fight.
Oh, my God.
In the first one, Jake Bobo and Trey Brown exchanged blows.
Yeah.
Brown landed one right after Bo's helmet came off. Bobo got cleaned up, returned and caught 2 touchdowns.
Electric.
John says it's the bean.
The bean.
The bean
Sucks
it
to
is.
suck, teacher.
I won't look. Let's see what I get. And I got the cayenne.
Oh, I wonder what are the other ones? Because I got one last time.
All right. Sriracha, jalapeno, cayenne, habanero, Carolina Reaper.
I think I got the habanero.
You don't think you got the Carolina Reaper?
No, last time. When I was really going through it.
All right, here we go. You people wanted it. You asked for it. Here's the cayenne.
Get beaned up.
Let's get beaned.
Bean me up, Scotty. Let's go.
Oh.
Now, you don't feel it like right away, but once you take a couple chews, like it really starts spreading fast.
Oh, my tongue.
Yeah, it's the tongue.
Ow. I feel like the kid in Christmas Story.
Yeah.
When they washed his mouth out with soap.
Mouth out with soap. No, it doesn't feel great.
Not fun. Got to drink that off.
Yeah, douse that with some Miller.
Yeah. Oh. I'm going to need a second before we start this segment, folks.
That's cool.
Oh. You all get to laugh at our misery. Now we're just 90 away from a Smitty Boot in a boot race here.
90 away from a boot race. I mean, you want to talk about what's possible? How about we talk about what's probable?
This has got to be like the most exciting build-up we've ever had on a Seahawks Live.
I mean, yeah, we're almost we're a half hour in. We haven't gotten a segment. It's all good though.
All right,
we're having a party.
Oh, I'm still feeling it. It doesn't go away. Oh. Wash her down. Ian's doing your job. He says, remember to put hashtag Seahawks if you want in on the mailbag
Do
segment.
you know how often I tell these people that? I tell them that all the damn time.
Ian knows how it works.
Ian does know how it works, and Ian sends in great questions.
All right. I think I'm good. To start this segment. 90 away from a Smitty Boot. Reminder, if you're having a great time today, this won't be the last time you see us this week. First preseason game, Saturday night, Seahawks, Chargers. We're going to preview it coming up later. While I still let my tongue settle down before we start this. Smitty, what are you looking forward to for Saturday night's preseason game?
Looking forward to the debut of Byron Murphy. Looking to see how Sam Howell plays. I'm looking... We're not going to get a ton of starters, so we're definitely not going to see the 2 new inside linebackers, so I'm very excited about. But, yeah, I mean, just the rookies, just seeing everybody get their first real NFL action. Like, if Byron Murphy can make a play in the backfield, like, that's all I need to see out of a preseason game this weekend. So, yeah, I'm mostly excited for the high-end rookie talent to come in and make an impact.
Yeah, me too. All right, I think I'm good.
All
Let's
right.
start now. First segment. 410 and Super Chats, 90 away from a boot race. Here's what's coming up. News and rumors, depth chart breakdown, Seahawks Chargers preview, and a Q&A mailbag to follow. Get your questions in. Hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to do so. Let's go ahead and get started. The latest report from Espen, the worldwide leader. We'll tell you about it right now here on Seahawks Today. Let's get started right now. You're watching Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us as we have a new report from ESPN detailing their takeaways from insider Jeremy Fowler on Seahawks training camp. His takeaways, will show you what they are, let you hear from some of your favorite Seahawks, react to it and more coming up in just a matter of moments. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. Some exciting news yesterday. Connor Williams is the newest member of the Seattle Seahawks. If you're excited about the Connor Williams signing, like the video, do your part, show some love. Who knows? He may be watching, his family, his friends. We want to make our voices heard loud and clear that we're rooting on Connor Williams, that we're glad to have him here in Seattle. Like the video, do your part, and we'll get started with today's show. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, NFL insider, visited Seahawks training camp within the last few days and gave an extensive breakdown of what he learned about this Seattle Seahawks team and where they're at right now at this point in training camp, looking ahead to the first preseason game coming up on Saturday night. Number one, the role for Geno Smith in Ryan Grubb's offense is going to be very enhanced, comparatively speaking, to what it was in the old regime under Shane Waldron. Geno Smith saying the following, "I know I'm one of the best. That's not just me saying that. It's proven. It's on tape. I think for me, I can't focus on those type of things. I have to be where my feet are and be the best player I can be." Fowler then went on to say, when talking about Geno Smith, whether he makes another jump will hinge on his mastery of Grubb's system, which is a spread-it-out passing attack. Smith plans to carry a heavy burden at the line of scrimmage with freedom to dictate terms of the offense based on what he sees. And as Fowler goes on to note, with great power comes great responsibility. Geno Smith is being handed the keys to this offense, and they are giving him the authority. Folks, this is not a stretch. This was right there in the article that Jeremy Fowler talked about. They are giving him the power similar to what Peyton Manning used to do with the Denver Broncos and with the Indianapolis Colts, where he could audible at the line. If he saw something he didn't like, he could change it immediately. That was his call, his decision to make. And for Peyton Manning, that worked out more times than not. That's the type of power that they are giving Geno Smith in this Ryan Grubb offense. So it's not just about making plays, but it's also about reading defenses and seeing things at the line of scrimmage before the snap. When you look at this Seahawks offense that Ryan Grubb's bringing in, it's a mix of tempo, a lot of screen passes, mix gap schemes, zone blocking, horizontal and vertical stretches, spread the field with the run. They want to be aggressive, and they need Geno Smith to have his eyes on things before the snap to make sure they're in the best position to succeed. The Seahawks are trying to get Geno Smith back to the form that he was in 2022, if not even better than what he was before. That season when he won the NFL's Comeback Player of the Year, he threw for 30 touchdowns, over 4,200 yards, a completion percentage near 70%. If they can get that version and then a little extra on top of the offense visuals, if you will, from Geno Smith maximizing what this team can do, then they're going to be in really good shape. So, knowing that the Seahawks are giving that much power to Geno Smith, do you trust Geno Smith with that type of responsibility? It's our pinned comment today. Type T for trust, D for don't. Weigh in. Let us know what you think. Number two, according to Jeremy Fowler, the Seahawks clearly want Jaxon Smith-Njigba to be the number 2 option at wide receiver. Look, they have some good players at the wide receiver spot with DK Metcalf there, Tyler Lockett, Jake Bobo, and others, but they are telling JSN, it is your time. We want you to be that guy for the Seahawks and take that big step forward. He's had a very good offseason, but can he put himself in position to have that defined role as that number 2 receiver and set himself up going forward? That's what they want to see. More from Jeremy Fowler. Jaxon Smith-Njigba ranked 3rd in Seahawks receiving last year, 628 yards, but I expect that to change. Ordering the Seahawks receivers is tricky because Tyler Lockett's savvy, even as he turns 32 in September, will keep him relevant, but it seems like Smith-Njigba will be, at the very least, the number 2 option behind DK Metcalf. When I asked Smith whom he throws to on a key third down, he said whoever is open, but conceded that Metcalf in any one-on-one matchup is hard to ignore as a first option. And that's fine. DK can be the first option. But all 3 wide receivers, they're going to get the ball, right? We know that. But the Seahawks need to be in a position where they can trust JSN, because let's be honest here. We're still waiting on DK's Metcalf's contract situation to play out. We think he's going to get extended, but Tyler Lockett, it's likely his last season. The only wide receiver you know for certain, without a doubt, that's going to be here a long time is Jaxon Smith-Njigba at this point. So, JSN, it's your time. Your time is now. You need to be the guy that this offense can trust because you're the one that they've put the most stock in, that they are buying into to be kind of the face of this receiving corps, if you will, for many years to come. What wide receiver is going to have a bigger year in 2024? Will it be Tyler Lockett or will it be JSN? And I know we love Tyler Lockett. He has been good to us here in Seattle over the years, but it's time to hand over that torch. We need JSN to step up and be that guy. Type JSN for JSN, TL for Tyler Lockett. Let us know in the comments section below. Today's show is sponsored by GameTime. GameTime is the place to go for last-minute tickets for the best seats and the lowest prices guaranteed. GameTime is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the GameTime app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, GameTime takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Save up to 60% off buying last-minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Download GameTime today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Very easy to use, folks. Pick the seat you want, get the visual, and then you're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Check out GameTime today. Number 3 in the ESPN takeaways was Devon Witherspoon and his leadership role that he's taking on within this Seahawks defense. And we know that Devon Witherspoon is a hell of a football player, but now it goes beyond that. He's becoming the voice of the defense, the de facto leader, if you will, with the changing of the guard. Now with no Quandre Diggs, no Jamal Adams, no Bobby Wagner. This is Devon Witherspoon's defense now, and that has been made abundantly clear this offseason. Fowler saying the following. The Seahawks' best teams had emotional leaders on defense. Think Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, and KJ Wright. The lead option for the next leader for the defense is cornerback Devon Witherspoon. The Seahawks believe teammates gravitate towards him, and his fiery personality was on full display on the field and on the sidelines. Witherspoon can play in the slot or on the outside. Expect Seattle to use him in both spots this season. Look, we already know he's a great player. But now, being that vocal leader of this defense, that makes him even better, even more valuable to this team if he can be that leader, if he can be that voice. And to do it in just his second year, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, I think Devon Witherspoon's going to be a captain. I think he's going to have that C on his chest when this season begins with just everything we've heard. Not only the talent level, but just how he carries himself. And think about this, folks. It's a night and day difference from what we talked about at this time last year when he showed up late for training camp. He was holding out, trying to get more guaranteed money, and then he ended up injured, didn't play in the first regular season game. Devon Witherspoon, credit where credit's due, he's turned a 180 at this point. I love it from Devon Witherspoon, and his best is still yet to come, folks. Watch party season is almost here on Seahawks Today. Yours truly, along with Smitty, will be live coming up on Saturday night for the Seahawks matchup with the LA Chargers, and we are trying to get to 53,500 subscribers before kickoff coming up on Saturday. Join us. Our coverage begins 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Subscribe now, and we will see you on Saturday night. Number 4 on the takeaways from ESPN, we turn our attention to the tight end position. There are high expectations for Noah Fant. Noah Fant is back with a new contract, got paid a lot of money, specifically guaranteed money, and now with the Seahawks not having Colby Parkinson, not having Will Dissly, they are asking a lot of Noah Fant, and his role is about to change. Remember, we've talked about this a decent amount here on this channel over the last couple of months. The previous regime in the Pete Carroll, Shane Waldron era, they ignored the tight end spot. It didn't matter if it was Noah Fant, Greg Olsen, Jimmy Graham, you name it. They didn't really care about the tight end position. Ryan Grubb, Mike McDonald, that changes, and they need a lot out of Noah Fant. Jeremy Fowler saying the following. Noah Fant is coming off career lows in catches, 32, and yards, 414. But the Seahawks are hopeful that the tight end eclipses those in a big way in 2024. Grubb's passing attack should help him. I think he's our best-kept secret, said Geno Smith. I think they're going to use him more effectively as, think about this, when you look at the tight end room, if we're going to be honest with y'all, he's the only reliable option when it comes to the receiving game. Barner's a blocking tight end. Brown's a blocking tight end. Jack Westover's a UDFA. We don't even know if he's going to make the team, although he's a receiving tight end. They expect a lot out of Noah Fant. And the version that we saw in 2023 where he didn't get to the end zone once, only got targeted in the red zone twice, that's not going to fly. We need him to have his best season yet, and I think he will. But it's also worth noting, Fant left Tuesday's practice with a foot injury. We'll keep tabs on that, and hopefully Noah Fant's okay, but that all remains to be seen at this point in time. What's your confidence level in Noah Fant? Scale it for me, 1 through 10. How are you feeling about the Seahawks tight end? Do you think he's going to have a big year in 2024? let me know. I'm going with about a 7, to be honest with you. I like Noah Fant. He helped win me a fantasy championship when he was on Denver squad a couple years ago. I know what he's capable of. Let's see if he can make it happen. Weigh in. Let us know what you think. Last on our takeaways from the ESPN report from Jeremy Fowler, we go back to the wide receiver position as Jake Bobo and, yes, D. Eskridge have stepped up. I know it sounds crazy, but listen to this. The Seahawks have a major battle at backup receiver. Position numbers 4 through 9 are up for grabs. Jake Bobo is making a serious case for a top spot, and the team believes former second-round pick D. Eskridge has come to play this camp. Now, we told you a couple days ago about the scrimmage the Seahawks had there on Saturday. And the star of the show was Jake Bobo. He was outstanding. And we've seen in the past, you recall training camp last year, the preseason and everything, Jake Bobo was great. So I'm not surprised. I think Jake Bobo is going to continue to elevate his play. D. Eskridge, I've heard this song before. Remember last offseason when all we heard about was, man, D. Eskridge finally looks the part. This could be his breakout season. And then he was nowhere to be seen. So I'll believe it when I see it when it comes to D. Eskridge. But the good news is this receiving core, they got some options, folks. They got some dudes. Not just DK, not just Tyler Lockett, not just JSN, but Jake Bobo. I like Chenault coming in from Carolina. Young is a solid player. Maybe D. Eskridge finally gets it done. There's a reason to be optimistic that this passing attack is going to be pretty lethal, folks. And Jake Bobo, guarantee. Bank it right now. Get your bets in Vegas, whatever it may be, or bet US, because we're Chat Sports, you know. That Jake Bobo is going to see his numbers maybe even double from what it was. He'll have more targets, more catches, more yards, more touchdowns, and you're going to love it. And we would be remiss if we didn't do this before the end of today's show, folks. If you want more Jake Bobo this season, you know what to do. Spam hashtag more Bobo in the comments. More Bobo, more Bobo, more Bobo. Get it in the comments section. Show some love to Jake Bobo. Let's get some more Jake Bobo this season. If you enjoyed today's show, like the video, show some love to Connor Williams. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. We'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today. All right. 1 down, 3 to go. As next, we'll go over the updated Seahawks depth chart. But what wide receiver is going to have a bigger year? Will it be Tyler Lockett or will it be Jaxon Smith-Njigba? JSN, type TL for Tyler Lockett, type JSN for Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Smitty, back to you. I think it's going to be JSN. Not knocking Tyler Lockett at all. I think Tyler Lockett's going to be solid, but he's getting older. He had his first season 4 years last year where he was under 1,000 yards. This is JSN's time. This is his moment to shine.
I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't say JSN was who I'd be picking here. I mean, do I want to go with a first-round draft pick wide receiver who's shown all the talent in the world to be able to be an elite receiver in this league? Or do I go with Tyler Lockett, who's pushing 35 and, yes, can still be very reliable, but over a 17-game sample size for the next couple of seasons, I'm looking more towards JSN to be the alpha of these two.
The alpha, just like Beta YT, who's an alpha. Who do you got? Type TL for Tyler Lockett, JSN for Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Let us know. Matthew's got Lockett. Ian's got JSN. Ian says JSN will have more targets. Matthew, I see your question. We'll get that in the mailbag. Continue to get your questions in. Hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat for the mailbag portion of the show. Ralph says Tyler Lockett. Old guy like me, LOL. Matthew says Tyler Lockett is clutch. Folks, if you want to get involved in today's show, we're only $90 away from a Smitty Boot and doing a boot race here in today's show. Here's today's options. I already got to run a beer mile. I already said I'd run a 5K. You all love to make me run around here. First-time Super Chatters, you get the Seahawks chant. $5 Super Chat, we'll do the old McDonald's song. $10 Super Chat, I'm taking shots. $25 Super Chat, we'll do a beer bong. $50 Super Chat, we'll get sauced with the Seahawks sauce. Up next, the updated depth chart for your Seattle Seahawks. And then we'll preview the matchup with the Chargers. And we'll do Q&A mailbag as well. Hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of the show. Right now, though, Ian says 90. Yes, 90. That's all we are away. Just $90 from a Smitty Boot. So which would be a boot race. Beta says, I won't lie, Tyler, is indeed clutch. If not for him, we would be far worse team without him.
No doubt about it. Tyler Lockett has saved our asses multiple times throughout his tenure.
They very well, this new coaching staff and everything, could have easily said bye-bye to Tyler Lockett. I'm glad, even if it's likely just one more year, that Tyler Lockett's going to get one last hoorah with this team. And the fan base, if you're debating whether to go to a game this year or not, I encourage you to go and say your goodbyes to Tyler Lockett.
Go see Tyler Lockett play a little ball one more time.
You'll be glad you did.
Yep.
All right. Without further ado, depth chart time. Let's break down how the Seahawks stack up entering the first preseason game. And after the Connor Williams signing, we'll go piece by piece. That's next, right here on Seahawks Today. Let's get after it. Glad to have you with us here on Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones here as we have an updated look on your Seattle Seahawks depth chart. What we've done is we've taken the Seahawks depth chart that they released earlier this week, and we've added Connor Williams to it, and we will give you our thoughts of how this depth chart shakes up, some of the position battles that intrigue us, and more coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, folks, we are trying to get to 53,500 subscribers before the Seahawks' first preseason game on Saturday night. We're just over 300 away from reaching that next milestone. If you want to be a part of our watch party, you want daily news and rumors, live shows multiple times a week, breaking news, Q&A mailbags, and more, you got to subscribe to Seahawks Today. Join the family of 12s, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Subscribe now. We'll get started with today's show. The QB depth chart, no surprises to this point, as Geno is still QB1. That has not changed. Sam Howell, your QB2, and P.J. Walker is the QB3. Although Sam Howell has not looked great, P.J. Walker's outplayed him. We're not expecting any major changes to that, at least anytime soon. We'll see how the preseason goes. The running back room for Seattle includes the following. Kenneth Walker is your RB1. Zach Charbonnet, your RB2. He's expected to take an increased role in this offense, though. Kenny McIntosh did not look great in the scrimmage last Saturday, but he remains your running back 3 at this point. Holani, Lewis, and Robinson also in the mix as well. Let's talk about McIntosh for a moment. I need to see more out of Kenny McIntosh. Struggled to stay healthy last year and had that lackluster showing in the scrimmage. The Seahawks are going to use at least 3 running backs. And Seattle fans, you guys know as well as anybody, we have seen some bad luck when it comes to the injury front with this running back room. They are going to need to rely and trust on Kenny McIntosh, especially when it comes to the passing game. With the potential ability for him to be a third down back, they need to see more. So I need Kenny McIntosh to kind of figure it the F out, if you will, over these next couple of weeks. Hopefully he steps up in the preseason. How would you grade the Seahawks depth chart? We will reveal the rest of it here in a moment, but want to hear from you guys. A, B, C, D, or F, what do you think of this depth chart with the addition of Connor Williams? I go with a solid B+. What do you guys think? Weigh in, let us know. The receiver room, DK, Lockett, JSN lead the way. We should see more of JSN on the outside. He and Lockett could potentially be reversing roles, if you will. Bobo and Eskridge also there. Chenault, Young, very competitive for that wide receiver spot and beyond behind Jake Bobo there. Jake Bobo's looked very good so far throughout training camp. The tight end room for the Seahawks, Noah Fant's got a little bit of an injury right now. We'll see if that continues to be an issue, how quickly he can recover from the foot injury he suffered in practice earlier this week. Pharaoh Brown, your tight end 2. Barner, Mabry, Russell, and Jack Westover there as well. I'm concerned, especially with the Fant injury, about the lack of pass catchers. All right? You got a whole lot of blocking tight ends in this tight end room and not a real number 2 receiving threat. And before some of y'all come after my throat, you're going to say, well, you got Jack Westover. He's a receiving tight end. He was 3rd in receiving for the Washington Huskies last year. And you know what my response would be? He's a UDFA. We don't even know if he's going to make the team. So don't give me this BS about Jack Westover as that second tight end receiving option. I'm concerned, and you should be concerned too. What's your confidence level in Seattle's tight end room right now? I don't feel great. Scale it for me 1 through 10. I'm going with about a 6 at this point in time. Weigh in, let us know. Today's show is sponsored by GameTime. GameTime, the best place to go for last-minute tickets for the best seats and the lowest prices guaranteed. GameTime is an authorized ticket marketplace in Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the GameTime app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, GameTime takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. Let's say you want to go to a Seahawks preseason game. Maybe it's a Mariners game. Whatever it may be, you choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. You get to check out your seat, see if you like that seat or not, and then you're checking out within a matter of moments. Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Download the GameTime app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Download GameTime today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. To the offensive line is where we turn our attention to now. Charles Cross at your left tackle spot. You heard Albert Breer of the Monday Morning QB say a couple weeks ago that he likes what he's seen from Charles Cross. He thinks that he can be an all-pro caliber left tackle this year. Like in Tomlinson, your starting left guard. He comes over from the New York Jets, was a Pro Bowler in 2021. Not a great year last year in New York. They're expecting him to get back to Pro Bowl form. Connor Williams takes over as your starting center, the highest graded interior offensive lineman by Pro Football Focus last year with an 85.6 grade. He's expected to be healthy and ready to go week 1. Anthony Bradford, currently listed as the starting right guard at the moment, with Abraham Lucas as your starting right tackle, although he is banged up right now. We will see when he makes his return. Now, adding Williams changes the outlook of this entire offensive line. Now you feel a whole lot better. Olu as a backup, and he can play some guard as well. Bradford and Haynes competing for that right guard spot. You go to the tackle positions. Cross hopefully takes that next step. Now we just need Abe Lucas to get healthy. Because we've seen when Abe is healthy, he's just as good as Charles Cross, but he struggles to stay healthy. In that knee, you hope it's not a chronic issue, but this offensive line that went from one of the worst in the NFL last year, now adding Connor Williams to the mix and having some depth, you feel a whole lot better about this offensive line where it stands right now. Let's turn our attention to the defense now. Let's start with the defensive line. And a bit of a shocker, Jonathan Hankins in the starting lineup for Seattle, according to the depth chart that was released this week, with Jaron Reed, Leonard Williams holding down the other spots, Byron Murphy, a backup, Cam Young there, Mike Morris, among others in the mix as well. And I'll say this, I wouldn't read too much into Hankins as the starter at this point. What my guess is that Mike McDonald just doesn't want to hand things over to Byron Murphy without making him earn it. That as a rookie, they want to continue to make him work hard, put his best foot forward, and make him earn that starting job. I believe that he will be a starter when the season begins, but that's going to take time. And we've seen that's consistent with the messaging that Mike McDonald has talked about with Byron Murphy all season long. He's been pretty hard on the guy, if we're going to be honest with you. So playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, making him earn that starting job, that's fine with me. The linebacker room for Seattle. A few surprises here. Draymond Jones starting at the rush outside linebacker spot ahead of Boye Mafe. Jerome Baker at inside linebacker alongside Terrell Dodson, two of the newest additions to the Seahawks. Uchenna Nwosu on the other side. And then you got guys like Boye, Derek Hall, Tyrese Knight, John Radigan, among others there in that linebacker room. I'm a bit surprised to see Jones starting over Boye right now, but we've already heard Mike McDonald say that Jones is going to play both on the defensive line and the outside backer spot, that they're going to play him at both spots. I don't think this means that Boye's in the doghouse necessarily. The guy led the team in sacks last year, set the franchise record for most consecutive games with the sack. We're still going to see plenty of Boye. Don't think he's getting benched or anything like that, but they have options to work with, which is a very good thing for this Seahawks team. Pick one to start. Would you rather roll with Draymond Jones or would you rather roll with Boye Mafe? Draymond's the highest paid player on this defense, $18 million worth. Boye coming off a very stellar second season. Which guy? Type DJ for Draymond Jones. Type Boye for Boye Mafe. Let us know in the comments section. To the corner room we go. Trey Brown starting at one spot with Mike Jackson behind him. Going to be a very competitive battle between those two to see who wins the job. Rick Wallet and Devon Witherspoon at your other two spots. And some nice pieces as well. Pritchett, Burns, DJ James, among others there. I expect Trey Brown to win the job over Mike, but this is going to be something that goes till the very last preseason game, just as we saw last year. Remember, it came down to the wire. Mike Jackson, they told us, Pete Carroll and company, had a fantastic offseason last year, and then he shit the bed and he struggled in the preseason. Trey Brown stepped up, and then Trey Brown looked great in that game against the Detroit Lions where he played maybe the game of his life. I think Trey wins the job. Trey's had a very good camp, but this job is far from over. And at the end of the day, who doesn't win that starting job, they very well might get shipped out of town. They might get traded. And if I were to guess right now, if I were to rub my crystal ball, if you will, I think Trey wins the job. Mike gets traded for some potential draft capital. The safety room for the Seahawks. Julian Love, he's back with a new extension off a Pro Bowl campaign. Rayshon Jenkins comes over from the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was a sneaky good signing. I like Rayshon Jenkins. And then the depth, he got a little bit of concerns there. Kobe Bryant, he's got work to do to learn the safety position. He's been very inconsistent. Kayvon Wallace you bring over. He's played corner. He's played safety, kind of similar to Kobe Bryant. They need to see him become more of that safety role. And the Seahawks are expected to play three safeties at times, so we'll see what they can come up with. Jarek Reed not expected to be back for a while as he continues to recover from injury. What do you think the Seahawks record will be after the signing of Connor Williams? I said before 9-8. I think Connor Williams is worth one game. I'm bumping it up to 10-7 is my record prediction for the Seahawks. What do you guys think? Chime in the comments section. Let us know. Last and least, the special teams unit. Jason Myers at the kicker spot. Michael Dixon at punter. A very good 1-2 punch there. Chris Stoll with the mullet and all at the long snapper position. And your returners include Chenault, D. Eskridge, Williams, Winston, among others there. A pretty solid unit there on special teams for Seattle. Thanks for joining us here on Seahawks Today. Got a watch party coming up on Saturday night. We will see you then. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV, and have a great day. All right, we're halfway home. Up next, it's our Seahawks Chargers preview. And then we will get to our mailbag. Still time to get questions in. Hashtag Seahawks Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of the show. Grade the depth chart, A, B, C, D, or F. What do you guys think of this Seahawks depth chart? You heard me say B+. Where are you guys at? I see Dirty Earl says A-. David says A. John Smith says B+. He said A if we had better linebacker help. Smitty rejoins me right now. Smitty, now that we've gone through the whole depth chart, what do you think? How would you grade this group?
Still giving it a B, in my opinion. I think you got questions at the tight end position. I think you got questions still a little bit on the offensive line, but you've answered more of them in the last 24 hours. I think there's questions at the linebacker spot, like you said, with the outside linebackers, Draymond Jones, Boye Mafe. How's that kind of sort itself out? I mean, I think it's a good roster. I just don't think it's a great roster as of right now.
You mentioned an interesting point, the linebacker situation.
Yeah.
I said I wouldn't read too much into Boye not starting right now. I think he's going to play a significant role no matter what. They're going to find a nice balance between him and Draymond and Uchenna.
I absolutely agree. I think it'll be kind of a three-headed monster there, kind of rotating in and out, and especially with Uchenna coming off of a big-time injury.
Right.
You have to ease him kind of back into game shape and NFL action. So I expect all three of those guys to get plenty of pass rush opportunities for Seattle this year.
Matthew says B-. Ian says B-. Beta YT says B+. Ralph says B. Caleb says B. Alexander says F, kidding B. Matthew says B minus. Johnny says B. Lon says B. So everybody around the same range saying B,
John,
B plus, B minus.
John with a good point, saying question marks at the safety spot too, like you said,
Yeah.
with the depth there. If you guys have any questions about the Seahawks depth chart, about the roster, about anything going on, use hashtag Seahawks in your comment to get a question up for our mailbag segment coming up after this next one.
All right, we're 90 away from a boot race. We are so close, folks. Can we make it happen? We got 2 more segments to go. Can we get $90 before the end of these 2 segments? If we do, it's a boot race between me and Smitty. First-time Super Chatters, you get the Seahawks chant. $5 Super Chat, we'll do the old McDonald's song. $10 Super Chat, we'll take down some shots. $25 Super Chat, we'll do a beer bong. $50 Super Chat, we'll do a Seahawks sauce. $sign below the chat box if you would like to contribute, support the work we're doing, bringing you free Seahawks coverage here on this Wednesday afternoon. What a day we've had already, and we got more to come. Up next, Seahawks Chargers. Let's preview this matchup. Tell you what you need to know, what we're watching for. Is that background missing on Seahawks? That's just how it works. Okay. Can you change that to green then? We'll preview this game. Beta says, I want to play you in college football, Tyler. Beta, I would be glad to play you in college football 25. That's much better. Beta, we follow each other on Twitter. DM me your gamer tag. Let's set up a game. Me and Beta. What do you think about that? Smitty, me and Beta on college football 25. I love that idea.
That'd be a sweet idea. I mean, Beta's one of the homies here at Seahawks today. It'd be a cool opportunity to get you guys to face off.
Beta, who's going to be your team? Who are you playing as if we do this matchup?
I mean, I hope he picked the Clemson Tigers.
I know that Clemson's like a 90, I think.
They're pretty good.
On college football 25. I'll be Kansas. We could set up our 2 schools to play. Beta, we can make it happen. And if you got a PlayStation, Beta, I could even turn on the voice remote. We could talk back and forth.
Oh, yeah, a little trash talk for the CFB 25 matchup. I like that.
I know you're an Xbox guy. Does Xbox let you talk back and forth?
Yeah. Like, to the person that you're playing with?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so.
Are you a trash talker when you're playing, Smitty?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, what's better than talking a little crap over a microphone on the internet? Like, it's what we do. We do it for a living. We love it so much.
That's true. I can't wait till you play Tex.
Oh,
you guys are in. So, a little inside baseball here at Chat Sports. We have the PS5 League, which I'm in, and then we got the Xbox League, which Smitty's in.
Yeah.
Smitty, you're what, 2-0 right now?
I'm 1-1, unfortunately. I lost to our good friend Jake Chipper last night.
Okay.
After I beat our good friend Marshall Green in week 1. I had 2 user games the first 2 weeks. Had to play them right back to back. I wasn't ready for the second one.
I'm 1-0. I beat Sam Brown, picked him off 6 times last night.
Yep.
But I only won by 3. I should have won by more. I got too comfortable with my lead late in the game, up 14.
Oh, okay.
Got a little too conservative. So, Beta, we can set up a game. He's already sent me his gamer tag. We'll make it happen.
That's dope.
John Smith says, my grandson is PS5. I'm a PC gamer for life. John, I'll play your grandson too. We'll take all takers.
John, the problem about PC is, or I guess the problem with College Football 25 is they're not releasing it on PC this year. Hopefully they make that adjustment and you can get it back up on your PC next season.
Beta says, I'm currently playing Grand Theft Auto. When are we getting GTA 6?
GTA 6 comes out spring 2025. We're getting it.
Is that official?
Is it 2025 or 26?
What's the holdup? Why have we waited so long on GTA?
Those games are so massive, I will say. Like, it takes a lot of time and effort to make those. Grand Theft Auto 6 release date. What is it?
John says PC gets no love these days.
Fall 2025. Let's go.
Fall 2025, GTA 6.
Yeah, and then the PC release of GTA will likely be in 2026.
Okay. So we got a little while
Yeah.
on GTA 6. So far away. Smitty, are you old enough? Did you play how far back do you go in GTA? Did you play the original?
Oh, no, I never played the original. I've played San Andreas, which is the third one, or the fourth one. I've played GTA 4. Obviously, GTA 5.
Okay.
I remember a funny story. I think I was a 6th grader going into 7th grade when GTA 5 came out. I'll be 3 years out of college when GTA 6 comes out. That's crazy, but I went into the store and like how the cashier kind of tells you this is an M-rated game, there's nudity, violence, blood, all that stuff. And when he started saying that stuff, because I knew it was going to come up, and I went to the GameStop and got the game with my mom.
Yeah.
When he started saying all that stuff, I was like, yep, she knows. Yep, she knows all that. Yep. And my mom looked at me like I was crazy and ended up still getting me the game. So shout out to you, Mom, letting your son play in a virtual strip club at 13.
That's incredible.
Yep.
That's incredible. All right. Seahawks Chargers. Let's tell you about this matchup. And then we'll get to our mailbag segment coming up in just a bit.
Keep getting your questions in #Seahawks. You already know.
#Seahawks Super Chat for the mailbag segment to follow after this. Here we go. Let's break it down. Seahawks Chargers are right now here on Seahawks Today. It's game week. Finally, your Seattle Seahawks set to take on the Los Angeles Chargers in preseason week number 1 in Inglewood for this matchup as the Seahawks come in as 1.5-point favorites. The over-under set at 35. We will not see Justin Herbert on Saturday night. Still waiting to see what the Seahawks plan to do as far as how many starters play in this game. But it'll be the first time that we get to see Mike Macdonald coach in a live game. The debuts of Byron Murphy, Christian Haynes, among others here as we embark on a new era of Seahawks football here in 2024. I know this game's on the road, but I want to get ready for game day. You guys know how it works on our watch parties. We spam S for the Seahawks to get the chat popping, to get everybody feeling like they're in Lumen Field. I want you to bring that Lumen Field energy to the comment section today. If you're ready for Seahawks football, spam our rallying cry in the comment section, spam S, and we'll get started with today's show. Here's my 5 things to watch for in the first preseason game, the Sam Howell experience. With the injury to Geno Smith, you better believe that we're going to see plenty of Sam Howell. Now, granted, Geno's recovered. He's fine, but can't imagine that he's going to take the field too much. So with that said, there's a huge opportunity for Sam to show command of this offense and earn the trust of this coaching staff because from what we've seen so far to this point in training camp, it has been a roller coaster. He struggled with accuracy. He struggled to connect with the skill position players, and now it's a chance to show what he's really made of in a live game situation. Michael Sean Duggar of The Athletic had this to say on Sam Howell. Howell performed like a backup Thursday. He made some good throws, most notably a pair of tight window tosses on consecutive snaps to wide receiver DK Metcalf during a time period. The first throw was a back shoulder ball that was whizzed by cornerback Reek Woolen, and the second was a hole shot between the cornerback and the safety near the sideline. Metcalf dropped both passes. Howell also threw consecutive touchdown passes to Metcalf during a red zone period. You look at the numbers, and Sam Howell last year, a lot of turnovers, right? Led the league in interceptions with 21, a completion percentage near 63.4%. And basically what we've seen, whether it was in training camp or what we saw last year in Washington, Sam Howell looks like a backup quarterback. But for Seattle, what they need to see is him not just look like a backup quarterback, but they need to make sure they're comfortable with him as their QB2. It's not a competition for the QB1 spot. Sam has no chance whatsoever of being the Seahawks starting quarterback when this season begins, barring an injury to Geno Smith. But they need renewed confidence that they have the right guy to be that number 2 quarterback for this Seahawks team, somebody that they can trust. Should Sam Howell be the Seahawks QB2? I mean, he's been outplayed by P.J. Walker at this point. What do you guys think? Weigh in. Y for yes, in for no. Chime in the comments section. We will be live for the Seahawks preseason game coming up on Saturday night for week number 1 of the preseason. Myself, Smitty, will be here. We'll get our coverage started at 6 o'clock Eastern, 4 p.m., or 3 p.m. rather, Eastern time for this matchup. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, Don't miss out on our first watch party of the year. It is going to be a fantastic time. You won't want to miss it. Seahawks Chargers live right here on Seahawks Today. We'll see you then. Number 2, the debut of Byron Murphy II. When the Seahawks depth chart came out this week, Byron Murphy was not listed as a starter, and that's not much of a surprise, as Mike McDonald's been very hard on Byron Murphy for really dating back to rookie minicamp all the way till now. But what we've seen in training camp was when the pads weren't on, Byron Murphy really struggled to kind of find his footing. And then once they went to contact drills, when they put the pads on and everything, then Byron Murphy started to look like the part, if you will. We need to see him unleash in live action. Show why he is who we think he is in that live action scenario. Take advantage of it, embrace the contact, embrace the role in his first outing in a Seahawks uniform. Byron Murphy said this recently on Seahawks training camp. He said, I feel like camp's going great. I'm learning a lot from Jaron Reed, Leonard Williams, Jonathan Hankins. Them guys lead me in the right direction. I feel like defensive line coach Justin Hines, just the coaching staff, just putting me in the right position to make plays, and I'm having a great time, great camp. It's been great so far. Byron Murphy, it's twofold with him, right? It's not just what he brings getting after the quarterback, but stopping the run, and that's expected to be a big difference in this Seahawks defense in 2024 of what they've done to invest in the run defense, and Byron Murphy's a big part of that. If he can show those capabilities here in the preseason, not just to get after the quarterback, but to stop the run, you better believe he'll play a significant role on this Seahawks defensive line in 2024. Who wins? What's the final score going to be for Saturday night's game? You got to be a degenerate to bet on the preseason. I know Smitty's going to be, but what do you guys think? Who wins? What's the final weigh-in the comments section? Let us know. Today's show is sponsored by GameTime. GameTime, the place to go for last-minute tickets, the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. GameTime is an authorized ticket marketplace in Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the GameTime app actually go down the closer it gets the first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, their lowest price guarantee. GameTime takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. You get to check out your seat, see if you like that seat or not. Then you're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Download the GameTime app, create that account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Download GameTime today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Brown versus Jackson. It sounds like a court case, but in reality, it is the battle to see who will be the Seahawks starting outside corner next to Reek Woolen. We already know that Devon Witherspoon is going to play the nickelback spot, but who will join them? Last offseason, we saw this battle come down to the very last preseason game. Trey Brown was really good in the preseason. Got off to a good start to the regular season as well. In the offseason prior, Mike Jackson was the talk of the town. Pete Carroll said he was the standout of Seahawks minicamp last year. And then what happened? Trey Brown ended up taking the job. This is one that's going to come down to the very end. It might result in whoever doesn't win this battle leaving town and potentially getting traded for draft capital. Seahawks Wire had this to say on what's going on at that spot right now. Head coach Mike McDonald and defensive coordinator AD have likely been pleased with Brown's performance and results. Making big-time plays like a pick-6 score and denying a 2-point attempt likely helped Brown in his ongoing bid for a 53-man roster spot. The numbers between the two were pretty similar last year. Mike Jackson played in 2 more games than Trey Brown did. But even with that said, Brown had more picks, more pass breakups, tackles for loss, and tackles were the same between the two. And as you look at the corner depth chart, you can see that the only thing we know is Woolen and Witherspoon where they're going to be. Everything else is up for grabs. It is an open competition. I lean towards Trey Brown, but let's see how this all plays out. Let the best man win. Which corner is going to win the job? You going with Trey Brown or you going with Mike Jackson? Type Trey for Trey Brown. Type Mike for Mike Jackson. Weigh in, let us know. Number 4 on our list is the tight end battle. Now, Noah Fant is a little banged up right now at the time of this recording. And how are things going to stack up with the other spots? Who is going to be the guy to show off their abilities, not just as a blocker? Look, we know every one of them could block. That's not the problem. I know Barner and Brown and these others, these guys can block. That's not an issue. But who's going to be a faithful source when it comes to catching the football besides Jack Westover? Who is going to be that guy? Who can show off receiving ability in the red zone? That remains to be seen. Pharaoh Brown did an interview with Seattle Sports, and he talked about where he's at right now at this point in time. He said the following: I remember Coach this offseason asked, what's your game? And I was just like, grit. Run game, pass game, it's the same thing. It's just grit. You've got to catch the ball. That's just how I feel when I catch the ball, like nobody's tackling me. Brown is set to be your tight end 2 right now, but you still have Barner there, Russell, Westover, Mabry, among others. They're all competing for playing time. Outside of Fant, it is wide open to see who can potentially get involved and open up this offense to have some 12 personnel options. Last on our what to watch for list, we turn our attention to the one and only Jake Bobo. More Bobo. You want more Bobo? You're going to get more Bobo, folks. Bobo's looked phenomenal so far in training camp. Did really good in that scrimmage last week. He shined in the preseason last year. Let's see him cook and take that next step forward and be one of the best number 4 receivers in the National Football League. He's impressed his head coach, Mike McDonald. McDonald said the following: I don't see him drop a lot of footballs. It seems like he comes down with a bunch of them, but I think he complements our receiving room well, and we're excited in the team's phase. I think he provides more than a normal receiver would provide in that phase 2, and then it'll be fun to see how he fits in the receiver room and how that thing all shapes up, because we got a lot of talent. The Seahawks are hoping Bobo builds upon what he did last year, playing in all 17 games with 19 catches for nearly 200 yards, 10.3 yards, a reception, 2 touchdowns. He's very athletic. I think there's more to come with Jake Bobo here, as he's clearly established himself as that number 4 receiver in that Seahawks wide receiver room. So, Seahawks fans, you want more Bobo? Here's what you got to do. You know what we're spamming next in the comments section. Spam more Bobo for more Jake Bobo. Let your voice be heard. Let Mike McDonald or Ryan Grubb know that you want to see more Bobo this season. Make sure to join us coming up Saturday night. Seahawks, Chargers, watch party. Coverage begins 3 o'clock Pacific time right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now, and we'll see you then. All right. One more to go. Up next is our mailbag segment. Should Sam Howell be the Seahawks QB2? Why for yes, in for no. Now, let me say this. All right? Listen carefully, folks. When I talk about Sam Howell being QB2, and should he be, I'm not saying that you have to turn your attention to P.J. Walker. But should they go scour the market, if you will, and look for some other potential options? Do you feel confident enough in Sam Howell to be that guy, or should they go for somebody else? Ryan Tannehill's still on the market right now. Trey Lance is looking to be traded. You got Trevor Siemian, among others out there. Is Sam Howell the right guy to be that QB2? What do you think? Y for yes, in for no. Weigh in, let us know. Matthew says Y for yes. Jay Havan says yes. What else we got here? Scrolling up. Give me a second here, folks. Y for yes, in for no. Is Sam Howell good enough to be that wide receiver 2? Y for yes, in for no. Looks like a majority of y'all saying yes, that you believe in Sam Howell, that he's good enough to be that guy. Continue to let us know. Y for yes, in for no. Chefton says no, go get Trey Lance. Interesting. No one still spamming the more Bobo. Good to see. Also says Tannehill, says a Chieftain as well. Trigger says, I'm a Sam Howell believer. No one says yes. Well, we bring Smitty back into the program now. As Caleb says yes and no one says yes. Smitty, are you concerned with Sam Howell? Do you think he's fine as the QB2, or should they look at potential other options?
Well, I'm a little confused about this situation because didn't all we hear through the beginning of this offseason were that the Seahawks coaching staff loves Sam Howell? They think that he could be the quarterback of the future. That's why they didn't draft a quarterback in the draft this year.
Yeah, and then training camp happened, and he shit the bed.
He's dog shit. So, yeah, there's definitely concerns about Sam Howell because this team doesn't have another quarterback behind him on the roster that's going to be here long term. I'm concerned.
If Sam Howell does not perform well,
we're cooked
these next few weeks, I'm getting Ryan Tannehill on the phone.
I low-key would also get Ryan Tannehill on the phone. Is he still a free agent?
He is.
Ryan Tannehill is better than Sam Howell. I don't care what anybody says.
Yes.
Why is he not on the roster?
Ryan Tannehill's played in an AFC championship game.
He has. He was a couple minutes away from winning it.
He led a team to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. Because here's what you look at. All right? Let's be real with y'all. Let's say something happens to Geno Smith, and he missed a couple games last year. He's already been banged up this offseason for that matter. Mm-hmm. This team very well may come down to one game, whether they're a playoff team or not. And that one game scenario, would you rather go Sam Howell, would you rather go Ryan Tannehill? I'm riding with Ryan Tannehill if I need one game. So, let's see.
Of course.
Trigger says Tannehill is like washed laundry. Well, if he's like washed laundry, what does that make Sam Howell then?
That's what I'm saying.
So, John Smith says Tannehill would be an upgrade over Howell for sure. Yeah, he's sitting out there. He's trying to find a home. He's trying to find somewhere to go. Mailbag coming up in just a bit. Hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of the show. And then we got some stuff to pay off. We are 90 away from a boot race. 90 away. Are we going to make it happen? Are the 12s going to give us a boot race? There is still time, but we need your help to get there. Poll question up right now. Does Connor Williams make the Seahawks a contender? 83% of you say yes. 17% say no. Keep getting your votes in. They're on our poll question. Yes or no. 83% saying yes so far. Smitty, do we need more questions, or are we all set?
I'm trying to count them up here. We could use a couple more. I mean, listen, if you guys want your question answered on our mailbag portion of today's show, go on ahead and throw hashtag Seahawks down in your comment and ask away about the Seahawks roster, training camp, anything that's going on around your Hawks right now.
I'm putting 1 minute on the clock. 2 questions. And then we'll begin this mailbag segment. I need 2 questions. Jay Hobbs says, wouldn't Tannehill be hell of expensive, though, as a QB2? No, Tannehill's just looking for a job. I mean, he would play for anything at this point. Maybe we might be able to pay him in some Ivar's clam chowder or something.
Hashtag Seahawks. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. I like that, Beta.
Beta's got 1. I need 1 more. 1 more, then we'll get this thing started. As we continue here. There we go. Matthew's got 1.
No, Matthew, that question was already in there, Matthew. I actually love that question, too. We're gonna include it. We do need 1 more, though.
Need 1 more. We already got you included,
Matthew. Yes, sir, Matthew. We got you, brother. No doubt about that.
There we go.
Like that, Chieferton?
Chieferton. And then
Bang.
Jay Hobb.
Okay, cool. Should be good.
All right. Without further ado, let's do our final segment, our mailbag. And then we're going to get some drinking. We're going to have a party here on Seahawks today. So stay tuned for that. Final segment. And then we'll wrap up here on this special Wednesday. It's been a fun one, but we're not quite done just yet. Let's go ahead and get started. Mailbag segment time. Hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat right now here on Seahawks Today. It is time to drop our sacks and touch our bags here on this special mailbag edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. You got questions, you're in luck. I got answers. They come from our Wednesday live show that we do, where you guys submit questions to us using the hashtag Seahawks or Super Chatting. We react to them in real time. And you never know when we might have a special live show. Like Tuesday night, I kid you not, I was at 7-Eleven. I was buying some Zens, and I got alerted that Connor Williams was joining the Seattle Seahawks. I was literally just about to go home, And I messaged our team on Slack, and I said, we got to go live right now. So I got back in my car, and we hustled right back to the studio, and we went live to react to Connor Williams heading the Seahawks. So make sure you join the Noti Gang. Turn on your notifications. That way you know when we go live, when we have new content, and we got you covered here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Join the Noti Gang now. Let's start off with a $2 super chat from Ian. He wants to know, think Haynes will be our starter week 1? Ian, great question. And I know Smitty disagrees with me on this. He says it's going to be Bradford. I think it will be Christian Haynes. I think Christian Haynes is a better talent than Anthony Bradford. Anthony Bradford didn't show me a lot last year. This coaching staff owes no loyalties to him. Haynes is their guy. I think Haynes starts at the right guard spot, but we still got a few more weeks to figure this out. Let's see how it all plays out. I'm not rooting for anybody. I just want the best man to win and the Seahawks to feel comfortable at that spot. Seth with a $50 super chat. Bang! Says, hashtag Seahawks, should we expect a lot of rotation through the preseason games or majority starters in the games? I'd expect mostly the backups, the second-team guys, and third-team guys to get the playing time. I don't think you're going to see a ton of the starters over the next couple of weeks, if you will. The NFL preseason, since they switched to 3 games, the format has kind of changed. These teams are playing their starters less and less. I think you'll see the younger guys that are competing to be starters, like the Byron Murphys of the world. Those guys will get significant playing time, but your DK Metcalfs of the world, your Devon Witherspoons and Rick Woolens, I don't think they'll play a ton. Thanks, Seth, for that super chat. Tony Hawk writes in, how has DK Metcalf looked so far in training camp? Tony, great question. Thanks for sending that in. DK's looked great. Got in a fight the other day, so hopefully DK doesn't bring that to the football field and continue to do his thing, as we've seen him being a little too chippy when it comes to getting those personal foul penalties and all that. But DK's looked great. He has been taking advantage of the one-on-one matchups. He's going up against the best of the best every day, facing, whether it's Reek or Devon or Julian Love. DK looks the part, and I think he's on pace to have one of, if not the best seasons of his entire career to this point. I think you're going to like what you see from DK Metcalf. As long as he stays healthy, you'll look at this offense and the way that this thing is shaping up of what the Seahawks have in mind with this offense here. It's going to be right up DK Metcalf's alley. It is going to put him in a position to succeed where DK can go off and he can thrive. And with the way the Seahawks want to spread you out and the way that they have multiple receivers to work with here, you can't just focus in on DK. You got to look at multiple guys, and I think DK is going to take advantage of that and be fantastic this year. Jack Daniels, I love me some Jack Daniels, writes in, how healthy is Connor Williams, and what kind of impact will he have right away on the Seattle Seahawks? Jack, great question there. What we've been told from Drew Rosenhaus is that Connor Williams should be ready to go week 1, that he is fully healthy and ready to go, despite tearing his ACL in week 14 of last season. The expectation is that he'll start at the center spot right away for Seattle, and that he should get involved in training camp. And you look at the numbers of what he's done over the last couple of seasons here. This is a guy that last year was the best interior offensive lineman in the NFL, according to Pro Football Focus, with the highest grade of an 86.5. He could play center. He could play guard. He could do it all. I think this totally changes the outlook on this Seahawks offensive line completely. What was a big weakness, all of a sudden you're feeling a lot better. You can breathe a bit with this offensive line with having Connor Williams there leading the way. And Olu's still involved. I think he's going to help in the maturation process of Anthony Bradford and Christian Haynes to help them come along. I think it's a great move by Seattle, and I expect him to be ready to go right away. Great the signing of Connor Williams. What do you think? A, B, C, D, or F? He passes physical, so the Seahawks must like what they see. What do you think? Weigh in. Let us know in the comments section. Steve the Ref chiming in. That Trace Gerard's dad? I love Steve. Great guy. Why is Byron Murphy not starting? So this isn't as complicated as you may think, folks, when it comes to this Byron Murphy situation. The depth chart that came out a couple days ago Byron Murphy was listed as the backup defensive end behind Jaron Reed. And Jonathan Hankins shocked everybody at the starting nose tackle spot. What I look at this as is just a situation where they're not just handing Byron Murphy everything, right? We've seen the constant theme throughout this offseason from Mike McDonald. He has been kind of a hard ass to Byron Murphy. Told him from the first day he walked in at rookie minicamp, he wasn't in football shape, that he needed to hit the weight room a bit. And at the start of training camp, we heard Mike McDonald say, well, he doesn't look quite right without pads on. We expect him to play better when we get the pads on. And now he's starting to put it together and starting to look the part here. So it's just a matter of earning it. I think he will. I think he will start when week one gets here. But it's just a matter of keeping him on his toes, continue to push him hard, humble him a little bit. That's what's going on here. Not much more to read into that. Byron Murphy's going to be great, but they're going to push him as hard as they can, try to get the most out of him. Will Byron Murphy start week one? Do you agree with me? Or do you disagree? Type Y for yes and for no. Let us know if you think Byron Murphy is starting week one or not. Speaking of Byron Murphy, we got his jerseys on sale now. Chatsports.com/Murphys where you can get these today. He'll wear the number 91, so just added 9 to that one. We got the home option, the road option, the alternate throwback jerseys as well, men's and women's sizes available. Go to chatsports.com/Murphy to get yours today. Free shipping available as well. The link is in the comments and description of today's video, chatsports.com/Murphy. Matthew writes in, how much longer does Geno Smith's experience last? Let's be honest, he's a bridge quarterback. He's not taking us to a Super Bowl. He went 20 touchdowns and 9 picks, and he's going to be 35 next season. Well, he's got a cap hit of $38 million, and basically it comes down to when are the Seahawks going to find a better option? This past draft, all the quarterbacks were gone before they picked there at 16. Literally, the top 5 quarterbacks all got selected before they picked. And then the year prior, they really liked C.J. Stroud. They really liked Anthony Richardson. And both those guys were gone before they picked at 5. Okay, so then you look at this year. Seahawks are not likely to have a high pick. Quarterback class isn't as good as it was last year with Carson Beck, Shedeur Sanders, Quinn Ewers kind of leading the way. So I'm not getting my hopes up about them drafting a quarterback this upcoming year to be the franchise guy. And then you start to think, do they pay the money for Dak? Do they make a trade for Kirk Cousins? I think there's a good chance Geno's the guy next year too. It's until they find a better option. And at this point in time, they don't have a better option. Geno's our guy. Deal with it. Suck it up. Geno, I think, is going to be fine for this year, and you just take it year by year and go from there. Brent writes in, if Rick Woolen doesn't have an uptick in form from last year, how long did we give him before looking for new options? Whoa. Hold the phone here, folks. The Seahawks aren't getting rid of Rick Woolen. I know that Rick struggled when it came to tackling last year. No ifs or ands or buts about that. It was a down year for him. But even with that said, he was still numero uno, according to Pro Football Focus, in man coverage of any defensive player in the NFL last year. So you get with the good with the bad. He's got to improve the tackling. No shit. We know that. He will. He's looked great so far this offseason. Mike McDonald's liked what he's seen from him so far. Give him a chance. He's not going anywhere. Rick Woolen's going to bounce back. I think he gets back to a Pro Bowl level this year. He ain't going anywhere. Slow down. Last question. Beta YT writes in, how do you think K9 will perform behind this new offensive line? Ooh, I'm excited, folks. I am very excited. K9 had over 900 yards last year, 1,000 yards the year prior, behind some just awful offensive lines. Now you got a legit center in Connor Williams. Hopefully, you have Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas healthy. Laken Tomlinson should be an upgrade. And then either Bradford or Haynes at the right guard spot. If K9 stays healthy, 1,000 yards should be the minimum. All right? We should be talking about Kenneth Walker being a Pro Bowl caliber back. And if he can't get the job done, there's a guy behind him that's waiting in the wings, and Zach Charbonnet, that would just relish at the opportunity if K9 can't figure it out. I think you got 2 good backs. I think you got a good thing going on. I expect them both to be well. Going to be a big year for Kenneth Walker. Thanks for joining us here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications to stay up to date what's happening with your favorite team. We're going to be live on Saturday night for our Seahawks Chargers preseason Week 1 watch party. We will see you then. Subscribe now for free. Thanks for joining us. All right. There we go. We're through our segments. Now it's time to party. Let's have a good time, 12s. I will go get the boot ready. I'll go get Smitty's boot ready. But we still need about $90 before we get to Smitty's boot. Here's the deal, folks. I'm going to go get the boots ready. I'm going to be back in about, let's say 4 minutes. If we get $90 in Super Chats in the next 4 minutes, it's a boot race. If not, then it's just me, and we sign off and we call it a day. I'm happy either way. It's up to you. Can y'all bring in 90 in the next 4 minutes while I get the boots ready? Let's find out right now. Smitty, I'm feeling seltzer boot today.
I can get down with that, but at the end of the day, it's up to them if I'm going to get involved. You're already locked in.
I'm locked in, but I'm feeling it's a seltzer boot kind of day.
Seltzer boot kind of day? I'm in. I'm in for that. But for me to get involved, we're
4 minutes starts now.
$87, call it 90, round up, do the math, you know? That's how far we are away. $87, call it $90 away from making just Tyler doing a boot to the other Tyler doing a boot and making it a boot race. What do you guys got? Also, since Tyler did it to me, I'm going to do it to him. Every $5 super chat that comes in until he gets back, we're throwing a shot in his boot. A little tequila seltzer boot. You guys ever had the high noon tequila seltzers? Damn, those are good. Das Boot's coming up right next. Don't go anywhere, Ian. Guys, we can also make this a collaborative effort. Doesn't need to be one guy sending in the whole pot. John Smith and Beta went back and forth earlier, getting this boot done, getting Jones' beer mile done. Can't wait to see that, by the way. Oh, apparently we have Trace Gerard in the next video over saying Chase Young just committed murder, so that's good. Not really. It's a video game. Madden stream, not real. Do have to get to the super chat here for the man himself. If he missed it during the mailbag, that's apologies on my end. But the man himself coming in with a 2, saying, knowing it would be cheap, does Lance fit Trey Lance? I don't know if he fits with any NFL roster. I don't think any of the 32 rosters out there feel comfortable putting Trey Lance, as the QB2 on their roster. As we also got a $5 super chat coming in from no one. So hey, $85 away, just like that.
2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes remaining on the clock. Got to get $85, and we'll make the one boot chug into a 2 boot race. You already know I'm going to whoop Tyler's ass if we get that 85. You already know.
Here they are.
Here we go.
I'll put my headset back on. 2 minutes on the clock. Need $85 in the next 2 minutes.
You got to put a shot in your boot, too.
Okay. Oh!
Uh-oh.
John Smith making it interesting.
With a little nudge.
All right.
We'll call it 50 away now.
50 away.
50 away from a beer boot race.
50 away.
Boots are already set. They're already ready to roll. We need you guys.
The seltzer boots are here. Ian says not looking good, guys.
John Smith just helped us out a little bit.
For who? I think it's looking pretty good. Down to 1 minute.
1 minute.
Over 50 remaining.
We need a 50 to get me involved in the boot race. Ralph making an impact. We need a 50.
Need 50.
Ralph, what up? Appreciate you, my man. Any donation is much appreciated.
We appreciate all of you. Thank you, Ralph. Final minute.
Singles and doubles win games, folks. That's John Smith's words.
That's true.
I'm just regurgitating them. Base knocks. Get them on.
It's absolutely right. Singles and doubles do win games. Mariner fans, you guys know that.
Absolutely. It's up to you guys. You got a minute on the clock.
I told a story last night, Smitty. because, Jack Lotteray was in for you, big baseball guy. One of my favorite memories as a kid, I went to T-Mobile Park in 2009, the year the Yankees won the World Series.
Yes.
Saw the Mariners play the Yankees, and Ichiro hit a walk-off home run to beat the Yankees.
That's electric. Then he became a Yankee, and it wasn't as good.
Yeah, didn't go so great. Down the wire.
All right.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. You guys can make it happen. Boot race, 50 more.
50 more in the next 20 seconds. Otherwise, it's just me, and not Smitty.
I'd love to join. I'd love to take a little pressure off of Tyler, or actually put some pressure on.
Yeah, I didn't really put pressure on. The boot's ready. We just need you guys to make it happen.
My God.
What a show today, folks.
Great show today. I mean, whether we get to 50 or not, phenomenal show. Thank you to everybody who's supported throughout almost 2 hours that we've been live here.
Yeah, and great couple days. We had a great show last night, too.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be with you again on Saturday for Seahawks and Chargers.
Ian said he's got 10. Who's with him?
So Ian, send in the 10, and then can somebody come up with 40 after that?
Or 2 20s or 4 10s.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys.
I'm feeling generous, so I'm willing to wait a little bit. I know YouTube takes a minute to process. Oh, there's 10 from Jaden.
Singles and doubles.
More shots.
Doubles.
More shots.
And Jaden's bringing up a little topic of conversation here, too. He says, if Connor Williams plays well, I doubt we can afford him after next year. Do you think we're just letting Olu sit for a year to learn and grow more? Maybe we can do with him what Cam Jurgens did.
Potentially speaking, yes.
Yeah.
Would not surprise me if it works out that way. 40 away from the boot now, by the way. Boot race. I think that Connor Williams, he would be another year older next year. He's looking for a multi-year deal.
Yeah.
I think that if he has a solid year this year, you could potentially give him a little bit of a raise and then go, Ian with a 10.
Ian said he promised. We're
30 away.
We're 30 away.
1 minute. 1 minute away. $30 as we add more shots.
Couple of goats, Jaden and Ian. 30 away.
30 away. 1 minute on the clock. It could be a 1 year thing. I think it all depends on what type of play they get out of Connor Williams.
For sure.
I think that ideally, if this year goes well, you sign him to about a 2 year deal, maybe bump him from $6 million to 9 or 10, and you could live with that. You could probably make that work.
I mean, I think that's a good problem to have if you're the Seahawks. Like, if a guy plays too well on the offensive line, I think that's an okay problem to have. $30 away from a boot race.
30 seconds.
You guys can make it happen, I'm telling you.
Come on, guys. $30.
Ian didn't do it for nothing.
Don't let Ian down. We're 30 away. Who's going to be the one? Ian and Jaden did their part. John Smith threw in that 30. Now we just need 30 more.
Guys, we can do it. I know we can do it.
So close. So close. But yet so far. I would hate to drink alone. Don't make me drink alone.
I know.
Beer is so much better with friends. In this case, seltzers. But you get the idea. What was the last boot time you did? Do you remember your last time?
Probably. I think my last boot was probably pretty good. I think it was during the Celtic playoff run. It was probably something like 16. 16? That sounds right.
So my last boot, I made the mistake of accidentally making it very ice cold, like freezer cold. And it was my slowest time in a long time, 21 seconds. I didn't go freezer cold this time. I went normal temperature. So, we should have better results today. Man, folks, one more chance. 1 minute, $30, boot race. Don't make me drink alone. Somebody. Who's got the 30 out there? Is it Caleb? Is it John Smith, Thomas, Lon, Beta YT? Who's got it? 1 minute remaining. I'd hate to drink alone, folks. Let's see.
It's up to you guys.
It's up to you guys. 30 seconds. What? I mean, I already got one boot. I got to do a beer mile.
Yeah.
Can we get the trifecta of a boot race? 30 more away from making it happen. Down to the wire here. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that's it.
And that's it. Oh,
Unfortunate.
so close. Smitty's going to get out of this one, it seems like.
Scot-free, I guess.
Look at that boot. It was all ready for Smitty. All right, folks. Get your predictions in now. Over, under, 18 seconds. O for over. U for under. How am I going to do on this boot? What are your predictions? What do you guys think? 18 seconds. O.
O for over, U for under.
Man, I'm drinking alone.
I'm sorry. I set the number too high.
You know, it wasn't a lack of effort.
No, we tried.
It's been a hell of a day.
And our people tried.
Yes. Ralph says lame. It's not our fault. We tried. We tried. Maybe if we get the 30 while I'm doing the boot, Smitty could do his and we could time him.
If you do what? Oh, yeah, okay. That's fine. That's possible.
We'll still give another chance. All right. Here we go, folks. Boot time. Smitty's going to do the play-by-play.
Yep.
He's going to keep the timer. Spam chug in the chat.
I have my timer ready to roll. You already know stopwatch season. You got it.
Here we go, folks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. I actually mistapped and started maybe a fourth of a second late, but Jones is absolutely putting this thing down. This could be record time for Tyler Jones. Absolutely hammering the seltzer. Boom! Boom!
Oh, I was feeling it. How'd we do?
What do you think your time was?
I'm going to go 14.
1584.
Hey!
1584. It might have even been a little less than that. Maybe a 15.5.
Let's go. Let's go.
What a dog.
Woo. And not a ton of spillage, actually.
No, it was very
I'm
good
looking
job.
pretty dry.
Very good job.
Looking pretty dry.
It's usually very apparent on the camera when you get a spill.
Right.
So you look good.
In a dark shirt, yeah, you'd be able to tell.
I'm sorry, Phobia. It's unfortunate we couldn't hit my number. Phobia, if you want to send in a 30 right now, I will do a boot. Right
1 minute.
1 minute left. If we get $30, I'll do a boot. We'll compare times, and that'll determine the race.
Otherwise, we sign off and call it a day.
Official 1 minute timer has started.
This has been a hell of a show today, folks. Awesome. 1 minute on the clock, $30 for a Smitty boot. See if he can beat my time of 30 seconds. Don't make me drink alone. Let's see if Smitty can beat me.
I don't think you guys can do it. I'll throw it out there.
Smitty doesn't think we can get $30.
I don't think you guys have it in you.
Can the 12s deliver?
Good old-fashioned, you won't.
Well, let's find out.
Let's find out.
Oh, what's for dinner tonight, Smitty?
That's a good question. I was just about to ask you. I don't really have any plans for dinner yet tonight.
I got some leftover jambalaya at home.
Jambalaya? Where'd you get that from?
So I took my mom to dinner when I was in Tulsa the other night,
Yeah.
and the leftovers have been sitting in my fridge the last couple of days.
Nice.
So that's got to get eaten tonight before I got to throw it away.
Yep, no doubt.
All right, I'm not saying it. That means we're going to sign off. So close. But don't worry. We'll have another shot at it Saturday night.
Absolutely.
Folks, Great show today. Thank you all for making today a memorable day, setting the tone for what should be a fantastic week here on the channel. We're going to be live coming up.
Last live show before football commences, technically.
Finally, folks.
Wow.
Football is almost here. We'll be live coming up Saturday. Coverage. Oh!
Oh, my God. You're lucky.
Just like that. I was literally signing off.
You're lucky.
Smitty will do it.
Nitsu Trigger.
So close. At the buzzer.
You sick bastard.
At the buzzer.
I can't not respect it, though.
All right.
All right.
So what was my time? 15?
15-8-4.
15-8-4. 0 for over. Or actually, no. Let's ask this question. Will Smitty beat me? Can he beat 15.4? Y for yes, N for no. Get your predictions in now. We'll end on this. Y for yes, N for no. Will Smitty beat my time? He's stretching. He's warming up. We'll end the show like this. $500 today. An incredible day here on Seahawks Today. Right at the buzzer. Smitty's ready. Will Smitty beat me? 15.4 in this boot race. Y for yes, N for no. Spam chug in the chat. I'll start the timer. I'll do the play-by-play. Ian's saying no. Pedro's saying no.
Ian,
saying no.
I thought Ian was a Smitty guy.
User says no. Ralph says no.
What the fuck?
So everybody's counting Smitty out. They don't believe. John Smith says these boots are made for chugging. And that's just what they'll do. Chug. Spam chug. Here we go. Count them down, folks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he's off. I started the clock right on time. He's still going. Good start. Good start. Not much spillage. He's going down. Oh! Crushed it. Oh, he beat me, folks. 11.4. He is him. He is him. How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, you motivated. You woke up the beast. You woke up a giant today, folks.
Giant Slayer.
Smitty gets it done. How about that? 2 boots. On that note, we'll sign off. Hell of a day, folks. We will see you on Saturday night. Seahawks and Chargers live here on Seahawks Today. What a fun show. You guys made it incredible. A memorable show at that. What a way to set the tone for the rest of the week. We'll see you Saturday night. More in the channel to come over the next couple days. Stay tuned for that. For Tyler Smith, I'm Tyler Jones. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you on Saturday.